All right, good Wednesday morning to you. I'm ABC 24 Memphis meteorologist Trevor Birchett here with a weather update for you. If you're just joining us, welcome. Hope you're having a happy holiday season. We're going to get started with a weather update in just a moment. We're going to give everybody a couple of seconds to join in. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to share this video and get that weather information out to your friends and family. I'm going to send an alert to our app subscribers so they can join in and watch live. But hang with us here. We're going to get things started here in just a couple of moments. Again, if you're just joining us, give us just a couple of seconds. We're going to get everything sorted out here. Let some people join in. Of course, if you are watching on Facebook, we invite you to check in the comments and let us know where you're watching from. Tell us how your holidays are going so far. I know we're getting to that crunch time of the year. Let's go ahead and get this shared over. And like I said, we'll get started with our update here in just a couple of seconds. You early comers, you've jumped on a little too soon. By the way, while we're getting everything set up, I'm going to have the comments pulled up. So if you are watching on Facebook, if you have any questions, if you're traveling somewhere and would like to know some information about the weather where you're going, let me know in the comments. And again, like I said, I'd be happy to provide you with some information. Okay, that looks good. We will send that notification out. If you're watching us on the ABC 24 app, you should be getting an alert from yours truly here in just a couple of seconds. I'm going to make sure that worked. And then we will go from there and give you guys an update on what we're expecting in the world of weather. I can tell you a few things here. We'll go ahead and get started. Like I said, I'm watching the Facebook comments. So if you are watching on Facebook, say hello. Let us know down in the comments where you're watching from and what the weather is like in your neighborhood. All right, let's get to it. The three things you need to know. We've got a big change in our weather pattern that is happening tomorrow. First of all, temperatures are going to plummet. We are going to get to around 50 degrees today, but by the time you wake up on Friday morning, which is about 36 hours later, we're going to be in the single digits. So we are talking about a crazy change in weather. So just mentally prepare for that. It is going to be wild. Now, we are looking at some snow that is going to move in with that cold front. That's going to happen tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, and there could be some accumulation with that. We're going to talk about those chances here in just a little bit. Today, though, is a great day to get those last-minute errands done. I know a lot of folks like to wait until the last minute to maybe do some last-minute grocery shopping or get some gifts done. I promise you, do that today. You do not want to wait until the last minute to do that because it is going to be so bitterly cold by Thursday night and Friday. You're not going to want to leave the house. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Christina, traveling to Chicago. How are you looking? Well, it's going to be an interesting trip, I'll tell you that. We'll get you a wide view here in just a little bit. Hello, Martha and Bartlett. Monica, hoping it isn't bad. It's your son's 7th birthday party. Well, happy birthday to him, and hopefully it won't be too bad. We will give you all the details here in just a second, though. Let's get right to it. I want to take you to the hour-by-hour forecast model, and we're going to kind of walk through this step by step and give you an idea of what things are going to be happening, when they're going to happen, and what's going to be happening in your neighborhood. So we're going to start off the clock tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And that clock is going to stay up there. I know I can't point at it, but it's way off at the top right of your screen where it says Thursday 9 a.m. That's going to kind of follow along as we go. So watch the clock and watch what's happening. So we'll start off 9 a.m. tomorrow. We could wake up to a little bit of rain in the morning. I don't expect a lot of it, but notice our temperatures in the 40s. Watch what happens by midday Thursday, 2 p.m. Here comes that cold front. And I want you to notice the dramatic temperature change. Memphis, Tennessee, 53. Wynne, Arkansas, 33. That's not that far away. We're talking a 20-degree temperature drop. And once that front comes through, a few things are going to happen. As soon as the front hits you, you're going to notice an instant change in the wind. The wind's going to be colder. It's going to be out of the north, and it is going to cause those temperatures to plummet immediately. Now, once the front comes in, we're also going to get a little rain to start, but I think the temperatures are going to drop so fast that it's not going to take long for it to change to all snow. So something fortunate with this system is that we don't expect a whole lot of sleet or freezing rain. It's going to change pretty quickly from rain straight over to snow. You can see that happening in wind. Let's march the time through. Here's 4 p.m. So this is the time a lot of you are going to be getting off work, starting that evening commute. We're down to 29 in Memphis. Notice it is snowing. It's snowing in Dyersburg, 25. Snow in Tunica, 25 as well, down to 19 in wind. Let's get ahead to 5 o'clock. This is approaching that 6 o'clock hour. Everybody's seeing some snow. Temperatures in the teens and 20s across the entire area. Now, this is not going to be heavy snow for most of us. There could be a spot here or there that gets a quick, heavy burst of snow, but this is mainly going to be some light snow, and it's going to be so windy that the snow is going to be blowing around a little bit. So we could be talking about reduced visibilities for the drive home tomorrow evening. Notice by 7 p.m. tomorrow, the snow for the most part has moved out of Memphis, and that's when the real cold is going to start to settle in. I think the snow is basically done for everybody by 8 p.m. tomorrow. So this is not going to be a very long snow event. We're going to see snow start in Memphis by about 3 p.m. and it's going to be done by 7 or 8. Certainly out of the entire area by Thursday 9 p.m. and that's when the cold comes in, folks. It's going to get even colder. Look at your temperatures. Friday morning, this is your wake up weather Friday morning. The actual temperatures, 3 degrees in Dyersburg, 7 in Oxford, 5 in Holly Springs and Corinth, 6 in Wynne, Arkansas. And when you talk about the wind that's going to be whipping at 30 miles an hour behind the front, our wind chills are just going to be brutal. Take a look at this. Our wind chills Friday morning at 6 a.m. minus 13 in Memphis, minus 15 in Somerville, minus 14 in Corinth. It is going to be bitterly cold. This can be dangerous cold, folks. So yes, I know everybody's talking about the chance of snow. The bigger story here is the cold air. This can be deadly for folks that are outside. And this is the time you want to remember your P's. I know that's completely cheesy, but it's just so happens that everything you need to focus on in cold weather starts with a P. That would be your people. It takes 5 minutes to call grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, make sure they're doing okay. Hey, is your heat working? Do you have enough blankets? Do you need me to come get you? Do you need me to bring you to my house? Call friends, make sure they're doing okay. You don't want somebody to be left in the cold in this kind of weather. Your pets. I said it on TV this morning, and I'm not gonna shy away from saying it again. If you leave an animal, a dog, cat, pet, in this kind of cold weather outside, you are not a good person. I hate to say it like that, but it's just true. If you are cold, your pets are cold. Bring your pets inside. At the bare minimum, if they're an outside dog, put them in the garage. Give them some blankets. Please show some effort to bring your animals inside. It's too dangerous for them to be outside in this. It's animal abuse if you leave them outside in this kind of cold air, and that's just the truth. I hate to say it, but it's true. So that's your other P, your pets. Your pipes. Folks, I'm so worried about people's pipes because here's what's going to happen. People are going to go out of town for the holidays. They're going to think, hey, I'm going to be gone for the next 5 days for Christmas. Let me turn my heat off in my house and save a few bucks. That's not going to work this time, folks, because you're going to have a pipe burst. So what you need to do if you are leaving out of town, don't set your thermostat any lower than 60. Keep your heat on at least 60. That way it's not constantly running, but there's some warmth in the house. Drip your faucets, open your cabinets, and make sure, go today to Lowe's or Home Depot and get one of those covers to go on your spigots outside the house, and that'll make sure your outside spigot is safe. We hear that a lot of stores are running out of those, so we're gonna have a story coming up tonight at 5. I believe that someone's gonna be working on that, of what you can do if you can't find one of those styrofoam covers for your outside spigot, some kind of DIY things you can do. So that is what you need to focus on. Those are your P's. Tire pressure is another one. And typically your tire pressure goes down when the temperature gets colder. You need to fill that up because lower tire pressure means less braking distance. Marie says, let's talk about the apartment complexes with no hot water and no heat. That is true. We do have places in Memphis that they've not gotten their heat fixed. And trust, we are working on that hard at ABC 24 to get answers for you and find solutions for that because it is not healthy for anyone to be living in this condition without heat, especially for the next few nights. So we are working on that. That's been a topic in our newsroom. We're discussing it, and we're trying to work on some solutions for y'all. I hope we'll have something for that on the evening newscast. But that is true. If you know somebody without heat, be a friendly neighbor. Make sure they have a place to go because this can be serious. I want to go back over to our snow because that undoubtedly is what's going to get more people's attention. More people are going to talk about the snow tomorrow, even though the cold is the real threat. So I wanted to show you a couple of things. Here's our snow accumulation map. So I told you we expect snow in Memphis tomorrow from about 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And it's going to be quick enough that I don't expect a whole lot of snow. This is not going to be a major snow event. 10 years from now, when people look back at Christmas 2022, they're going to talk about how cold it was. They're not going to talk about how much snow was on the ground. So your snow accumulation map, most areas are going to expect to see less than an inch of snow. What that means, some folks will probably get a nice dusting. It's going to stay on the ground through Christmas, and we can technically call that a white Christmas. If there's a little dusting of snow on the ground, it's not going to be a pretty white fluffy snow. It's going to be some snow with some sprigs of grass popping out because that's how little snow we're talking about. Now, I do want to pay attention to, there's a little complex in here in our forecast that I'm going to be watching for, and it's this area right in here. I'm going to look at Mississippi County, Arkansas, Tipton County, Lauderdale County, Tennessee, Dyer County, Tennessee, Crockett, Haywood, Brownsville areas. That area north of Memphis, that is the area where we could get a little heavier burst of snow, and that could push our snow totals there over an inch, maybe to 2 inches. That's really the only area I expect to see more than an inch of snow. Everybody else, including us here in the Memphis metro, a dusting, maybe an inch. Maybe it's going to be just enough to make it look a little pretty outside for Christmas weekend. And the reason I don't expect it to be a whole lot of snow, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, the snow's not going to last that long. Think back to our snows that we had like 2 years ago when it was like 10 inches. It snowed for what seemed like days on end. This is going to be 4 to 5 hours of snow. It's going to be fairly light snow, and the wind is going to be blowing so much that I don't think the snow is going to be able to stick that much. So again, a pretty snow, maybe there could be some areas that get a nice coating. I just don't expect it to be a catastrophic snowstorm. And I'll back that up by showing you, this is our winter impact index. A lot of times we show you when there's severe weather, the level 1 to level 5. We have that for winter storms too. So this is a winter impact scale on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being the lowest impact, 5 being the highest impact. And almost everybody's in that level 1. What that means is, as you head out the door Thursday for that evening commute, so think about the evening commute Thursday, all day Friday, there could be some slick spots on the roadways, especially in that area that I circled. I'll circle it again on this map. That area where there could be a little heavier snow, maybe up to an inch or an inch and a half. That's up there in northeastern Arkansas, northwestern Tennessee. There certainly could be some slick bridges and overpasses up there, but in other areas, I just don't expect that much of an impact. Like I said, I think it's going to be pretty to look at, but I think most roads will be okay. There will be some slick spots though, so I want you to slow it down. Like I said, snow's going to come in Thursday evening. That could lower visibility, make it harder to see as you're driving home tomorrow. And then again, we'll look out for slick spots because temperatures are dropping so fast. I think what might help us though is the wind. It's going to kind of act like a blow dryer and kind of dry the roads a little bit. That's what I'm hoping. That's what our thinking is. But still, slick spots, especially on the bridges and overpasses. So I want you guys to be safe as you're taking that drive home. People love this. I thought it was kind of funny. I thought it was silly, but people liked it on social media. So I'll show you guys too. This is my bread and milk meter, and I made this kind of like the winter impact index. It's a scale of 0 to 5 of how significant the winter storm is going to be. 5 is like buy all the bread and milk that Kroger has. For this winter storm, I'm going to keep it at a 1 just because this is not going to be anything that you're going to be stuck in the house for. It's not going to be anything where the roads are just impassable. It's going to be something that if you're going to be on the roads Thursday night and Friday, slow down. I know people around here like to speed. We like to go fast on our interstates. Not Thursday, not Friday, because if you hit that slick spot, you're going to go sliding, and we don't want you to do that. So, again, I don't think it's anything catastrophic in terms of snow, but there could be some slick spots. The biggest impact, I'm going to keep drilling this home, is the cold. How cold it is going to be. We don't get this kind of cold very often, especially wind chills like this where the wind is so blustery. It's going to be a situation where you need to prepare. Again, remember your people, pets, pipes, and your air pressure. because that's a situation where things can go bad very easily. All right, that's pretty much all I had for this live update. I know we've got some folks watching on our app and they can't really talk to me, but if you're watching on Facebook, you can talk to me. So if you have a comment or a question, I told somebody I'd show them Chicago. I hope she's still here. Let's see, and I can kind of zoom out and show you. This is a big system, I will tell you that. All right, we do have a couple of questions. Okay, I'll get to those. So we'll zoom out here and I'll kind of show you. So Chicago is going to get some snow tonight. Pretty much, or tomorrow night, I should say. This is tomorrow night. So pretty much the same time we're getting snow, Chicago is going to be getting snow. But it's not going to last that long. And it's not going to last that long. So they're also way more prepared for it than we are. They can handle the snow. So they probably will have it all cleaned up by Friday morning. What I do expect, though, and let's talk about this, is, and we're going to have a reporter at the airport tomorrow, I think. Tomorrow is the busiest travel day at Memphis International, and we could easily have situations where flights are delayed, not because the weather's bad in Memphis, but because it's bad so many other places. I mean, we're looking at possibly feet of snow in parts of New York, Pennsylvania, into the upper Midwest. So even though, you know, it's not necessarily going to be enough snow to slow flights here, that ripple effect where it's kind of like we're in the summertime. If you have a thunderstorm at Atlanta, there's flight cancellations all over the country because that one airport serves so many flights. It's going to be that situation where we could have some delays, not necessarily because of the weather here, but because of everywhere else. Cassandra says, MLGW is prepared. Your son warned me he's probably going to miss Christmas this year because he's going to be on 16-hour days. Oh, I hate to hear that, but please send him our deepest gratitude, especially how cold it's going to be if we do have power outages. Those folks are going to be out there in the cold, like 16-hour days over a holiday weekend, and they're going to do it without even thinking twice about it because they work so hard to service our community. So if you know a lineman or someone that works in energy, send them our gratitude this year because it seriously is. They are out there every time, no matter what time it is, working on our power. And I'll tell you, speaking of the power, I don't think it's going to be a situation where it's not an ice storm this time. So it's not going to be a situation where the ice is pulling down the power lines. That can be more catastrophic. What I think it's going to be this time is a couple of things. It's so cold outside that everybody's going to turn on their heat. I'm one of those people that I don't try to turn my heat on. I also live in an apartment, so it's, you know, I kind of get heat from other places. I try to not turn my heat on unless it's bitterly cold. I'm going to have my heat on this weekend. And so there's a lot of people that it's going to be an increase in energy demand, and sometimes the power grid just can't handle it, and it's going to shut down in parts. So power outages are a real concern because of that situation in and of itself. And then you've also got the wind. Let me show you here. I actually have not shown this on air, but see, I like being on social media because I can ramble as much as I want. Nobody cares. And as long as you guys are here, I'll keep talking. What I want to do is jump ahead now and show you our wind gusts as that front comes through. I mean, look at this. This is Thursday. Our wind gust up to 30 miles an hour, and it's going to be snowing, and it's going to be 20 degrees outside. It is going to be nasty. I'm telling y'all. I told them this morning that there's a lot of people that they want to wait till the last minute to make that last minute grocery run. They go to Kroger on maybe Christmas Eve morning. I'm telling you, today, get it done today because you're not going to want to leave the house on Friday. It's going to be 17 degrees for the high. Wind chills are going to be below zero all day long. And Christmas weekend, while it's going to be dry Saturday and Sunday, it's still going to be cold. Marie, you're in an apartment with no heat and no water, and you can't use a small heater. I'll tell you what, Marie, are you in Memphis? I don't want to stalk your profile, but if you're in the area, send us an email or message us on our Facebook page, and I would love to pass that along to someone in the building and have them look into that for you and make sure that is getting handled, because that's not a situation that we can really keep you in. That's not good. And I know a lot of these apartments, that's been an issue for a while. So if you wouldn't mind, and maybe if you wouldn't mind speaking to a reporter about that, I'd love to get that information spread. So either message us on our ABC24 Memphis page, or you can email us news@abc24.com. Either one, and I'll make sure somebody in the newsroom looks into that, because that has been something we've been talking about is we have several apartments that are not with heat right now, and we're working on getting details on warming centers and things like that. We're trying to get all this info together for you. We have our meeting in about 30 minutes with all the news staff to kind of plan what we're doing for the day. So I'll be sure to bring that up. If you can get that in within the next 30 minutes, I will definitely pass that along to them. But any other questions? Portia, hello. Your apartment randomly loses heat. What should you do? So some good tips is always to have blankets nearby. And if you do suddenly lose heat, you got to stay wrapped up. Put on pajama pants, put on socks, put on jeans, whatever you can to stay warm. And luckily, hopefully your apartment will kind of hang on to power. If the power does go out, hopefully it won't be too soon, and you can kind of keep some of that residual heat. But yeah, blankets, bundle up, put on beanies, whatever you can, because you don't want to be, too cold in this kind of weather. It's going to get to people, I'm afraid. So this is something you really need to prepare for. And if we do have power outages, like I said, you're just going to have to wrap up. And I'm certain that there will be warming centers if you feel led to go to a warming center, or if you know somebody that needs one. We're working with the city to try to get details on that. I don't think we've heard back just yet. But as soon as they do reach out to us with details on warming centers, we'll have that on our website, on Facebook, and of course on TV tonight on ABC 24 News starting at 5. All right, without seeing any more questions, I'm going to hop off of here. Any last minute questions, send them in. Marie, like I said, we'd love to hear from you. If you don't mind, I'd love to pass your information along. You can message us here on Facebook. But if you do have any more questions, you can find me on Facebook. I'm Trevor Birchett, ABC 24. I'm on Twitter at WeatherTrevor. Find me somewhere, and I'll be more than happy to answer your question about where you're going. But I hope that everyone has a happy holiday season, regardless of the cold air. Last year it was 77 degrees on Christmas, so it's only fitting that we get a cold season, cold Christmas after the last warm season that we had. So again, please stay warm. Hope you all have a great holiday. I'm sure I'll be speaking with you again tomorrow while things start to get crazy. Crazy cold, I should say. And I'll see you again. And we also have a newscast coming up, ABC 24 News midday at 11. I will see you then if you want to tune in. I'll have the latest models, data, all kind of good stuff. Otherwise, get that shopping done. I'm telling you, you don't want to be out on Friday. I'm going to do it right after work today. All right, I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.